And we're back. We're here featuring the semifinals of the ProQuest Season 4. We have Ichiyo on Lexi and Miko on Katsu.
So as we noted earlier in our meta breakdown, we had a lot of Katsus, even more than Lexis today. Um, More players who brought Katsus and Fais, but we have how many Katsus made it to the top 8?
There were two.
Two? Yeah, and we can see that at least two of them reached the quarterfinals. The other quarterfinal, the semifinals. The other semifinals is Bravo against Katsu as well. So this seems to be a very good, very interesting meta for the Wanderer. So what do you expect about this game aside from it being a very fast-paced game?
Yeah, both of them will just look to play their game, play their own game,
Yeah.
stick to their game plan, uh, race each other down. Who do you think has the faster clock here?
Um, Katsu is more explosive, but Lexi is more consistent. And Lexi has more tools at her disposal. She has disruption in the form of ice cards. She has carrion husks in the form of three of a kind.
Yeah.
And she also has codexes as well as defense reactions that are relevant, such as frailty, as well as torpid, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
So I think Ichiyo is higher in the bracket, and he opted to go second,
Second, yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. So this does several things. He wants to have the opportunity to play Voltaire on his opponent's turn, while starting with the tempo
Right.
when it goes to his turn.
If if you're the Katsu player, would you opt to go first or second here?
I know I'd always go second in this matchup, but this is not the first time we saw Miko during this tournament. He's running quite a different list. He's running Fienda's Spring Tunic for this matchup.
Mm.
Most of the Katsus have ventured to use Hardened Cross Strap,
Yeah.
but he is going in another direction using the Tunic, which in essence he is expecting to gain more value by having more turns throughout the game. So playing an Enlightened Strike, threatening a Mass Trigger, basically forcing the Lexi to block. Interesting line of play. He opts not to have an arsenal on his first turn and chooses to deal
Choose to
5 damage.
right, to sneak in as much damage as he
Mhm.
can.
But that is given the opportunity for Ichiyo to Voltaire in a Bolton shot. And he has a very good card, a Lightning Press. A lot of the Lexis don't run Lightning Press, but I think they have more incentive to run this, especially since Bromai has had is having a bigger share of the current meta,
Yeah.
and you can basically turn your attacks into poppers if you block with it and pump it with Lightning Press. This is a Heat Seeker for 8 with Premeditate, and this has Go again. He has one card in hand, which we know is the Lightning Press. This is threatening 8, followed by 7 damage if he chooses to already used the lightning press. To this
Is
match,
yeah.
yeah,
Is does Heat Seeker have an on hit effect?
yes, it has an on-hit effect. It allows you to put a card from the top of your deck face up
Right.
into your arsenal. You don't know what that card is. Sometimes good thing, sometimes it whiffs, but most of the time it
It hits an arrow.
basically it
Yeah.
hits an arrow
Yeah.
and
It's an
extends your
right,
next turn.
an extra reload.
And
Yeah.
since he already has a ponder token, he can play out this um, the lightning press, or he can leave it in his arsenal so
Right.
that he can flip it on his next turn. Casual 15 damage on this turn. 8 from the Heat Seeker, buffed by the Premeditate, followed by a Bolt and Shot, Lightning Pressed, for a total of 15 with the Ponder token, and the hit effect of the Heat Seeker. The ops not Arsenal.
To Arsenal. Yeah.
And we can see why Miko has decided not to block
To
that
block. Yeah.
at all during that turn because he has an Art of War. Is also one of the key cards for this matchup. So playing with a life deficit of 10, he's incentivized to actually force his opponent to block this turn. He also has Command and Conquer.
Right.
But I think the problem with this hand right now is he is unsure on how to sequence his next attacks. Ichiyo doesn't really care about his arsenal. It's a blue ceiling shot. It it's an extra 4 damage, but 3 damage, but it is not as big of a
Right.
card
It's
as
below
compared,
rate.
yeah,
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
infecting shot
Right.
or a drill shot. So with 2 cards in hand, he opts to keep the art for the next turn.
For Arsenal, maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's able to present disruption as well as set up for his next turn.
Right. If you're in the position of Ichiyo here, would you opt to block the Command and Conquer, or
Mm,
would you let it through, given that the card in Arsenal is not that
it would depend on
relevant?
what
Yeah.
my hand contains. If I have good red arrows, 3 good red arrows and 1 blue arrow, I might choose not to block it. But if I have a rather clunky hand that doesn't do much during my own turn, I'd rather just block out,
Mm.
play out 1 arrow and then the ceiling shot. So do you could preserve your life total
Mm.
while also setting up for your next turn.
Right.
So what do you think about the top 8 matches so far?
Hmm. Uh, Great question. It's actually the meta is well distributed. Actually, it's
Yes,
quite
it is.
balanced.
One thing to note though, no Dromai were able to
Right.
get into the top 8.
Yeah, it got meta checked by
The
most of
Katsu.
the
They had
Katsus. Yeah.
Katsus, Fais,
Yeah.
1 Lexi, and 2 Bravos.
Two Bravos. Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Miko was able to beat the other Bravo in the top 8. So Ichiyo opted to just take the damage and lose the blue ceiling shot, which is not that bad actually.
Yeah.
Withering Shot basically turns off the Kodachis for the turn, threatening 5 damage. This is likely he's likely not to have any follow-up. Since he has no more resources, he was forced to pitch 2 cards, and so this last card will go to his arsenal. Oh,
Oh
it's
no.
an Arctic
Yeah.
Incarceration, which actually prevents um, a whole load of damage from the Katsu player. Goes to their turn. Katsu generally plays a lot of blues,
Yeah.
but it prevents so much if they don't have any blue at all, which might be the case right now. Maybe he has one. So again, Lexi is showing why she is one of the top decks in the meta right now because of um, the 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 amount of flexibility that she
Right.
has. Yes, a dishonor, 100 wins, um, and I think that is the art of war from the previous turn.
Right. In his arsenal.
Yeah, so that is a perfect turn to play the Arctic Incarceration. Because it basically loses you hard. Since you'll be forced to pitch it.
Pitch it to the frostbites. Yeah.
And he's forced to pitch 5 resources to deal 3 damage. Which definitely for the Katsu player,
Right.
this feels bad.
Did he just miss his combo?
Mm, he doesn't have surging or any gust wave, so I think what he is trying to do is simply threaten damage.
Mm.
There might be a scenario that he could still use the Art of War and draw 2 cards, but those 2 cards will be random,
Mm-hmm.
and he won't be sure if he could play them out this turn. And he hasn't blocked with the Breaking Scales, nor with the Breeze Rider boots yet, so he's not very incentivized to use them at this time. Hmm. So unfortunately, this is a misplay on Miko's part. He played attack with the Kodachi that actually deals no damage because of the frailty token. So it is one of those things that um, just could happen. Lexi currently does not have an arsenal, so his next turn won't be as threatening. But if we look at the current life totals, they will both be at 20 at the end of this turn. So Lexi currently coming up with a slight lead over the Katsu.
Mm.
Shio giving a good long think about his blocking, and he deserves to do so. This is the top 8 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There's no time limits for this um,
For the
for the
matches. Yeah.
matches. And interesting to see, he blocked with this equipment. And if you saw in his hand, he has a rain razors.
Mm.
So that is potentially threatening um, maybe upwards of 10 or more damage for this turn. Due to the series of disruptions from the Lexi player, um, Katsu has not been able to go back into this game. Actually, he has had a an Art of War in Arsenal for, I think this is
Two
going the
turns now.
2 or 3
Yeah.
turns already, and he hasn't been able to maximize it because of the frost bites and then the frailty
Right.
tokens. So again, with another threat of a frailty token, and we know because we saw his hand that he has a rain razors, which he plays, hitting for 7, creating a frailty token, and he could follow up with another zero cost attack that is hitting for 6, possible 7. Well, it should be 6, but if you just need to block 6, and if it hits, your opponent loses 1 life. Ichiyo has not given Miko any
Any
breathing
right.
room at
Any.
all
Yeah.
during this entire game. Seems that Miko has been trying to play out that Art of War for this entire game, but the next time that he is able to do so, it might be too late.
So what could Miko do here to gain back the tempo or the momentum?
It should be a combination of very good blocks, probably with this equipment, or if he has any defense reactions or reinforce the lines in his deck, followed by a good um, disruption attack like CNC. However, at this point, with this low of a life total, um, if he doesn't do it this turn, every turn thereafter, he will be forced
Just block with his
to
hand.
just block
Yeah.
with at least 1 to 2 cards. And with this big of a life total difference, um, Ichiyo has this is on the upper hand right now.
Right.
He gave it +1, so it's 7, possible 8 damage from the
Right.
loss of life. So he gave it +1 from the Volcator. So I can see Miko struggle. His goal at this time is to assess from his hand is if he
Eman Gregory is asking in the comments, is this the finals match? No,
no, this is not yet the
this is
finals.
the semi-finals.
Yes. So you can see that Miko is doing his best to keep enough from his hand so that he would be able to play a surging combo and threaten the 24 life that Ichiyo has. If he did not choose to block that turn
Right.
and he took the damage, he's going down to 5. But I think if we look back, uh, if we look at this game again afterwards, maybe that is one of the crucial decision points where it might have been better if we just took it and dealt more damage during this turn. But we shall see. Because what he gave up was a whelming gust wave. It is the next combo card after Surging Strike, and it is also a combo card which could be activated by the Breeze Rider boots, which could just lengthen and extend his combat chain. A relatively comfortable lead from by Ichiyo. This is still not this match is not yet over. Miko searched for Bonds of Ancestry,
Uh-huh.
so this is telling us that he has a natural Whelming Gust Wave in his hand, It's likely to be red, and it will be followed by the Bonds of Ancestry, which will then fetch another card from his deck based on what is in his graveyard. And all of these, oh, it's a Descendant Gust Wave. It would have been more powerful if it was a if he had the Whelming. And I think that would be one of the things that he might consider when looking back at this game afterwards. Is what if he just took the damage? Would this have been more threatening? Because I think it could be. So, giving a good hard look at what he could fetch. He could fetch a Fluster Fist, 100 Winds, and the card with the highest damage output would be a Fluster Fist if he still has reds in his deck. But I am not sure if that is enough to bring Ichiyo to a lethal, um, uh, to below lethal. It might just be the case. This will go for 6, followed by 6 again, or 5. So this might actually cut it. Yep. So if I were Ichiyo, this is definitely a blocking turn. This is one of those times when you just have to accept that you won't be keeping your entire
Right.
hand. You might want to swing back, but it might be easier. It might be to your benefit if you just block
Block,
out this
right,
turn.
and gain back the tempo later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lexi has very few one card hands that are able to be effective just on one card hands. And some of these cards are Arctic Incarceration, Winter's Bite, Codex of Frailty. There are several, but given the cards that are in his hand, and if I'm not mistaken, they are all arrows, it would be difficult for Ichiyo to actually come back if Miko is able to present lethal in this turn.
Yeah. Does Miko still have cards in his hand?
He does not have cards in his hand, but he has Bonds of Ancestry
In exile, yeah.
banished,
Right.
and the Bonds of Ancestry will be able to fetch another card from his deck.
Hmm.
And we have a Breaking Scales. So that threatens a potential 18 damage. So the goal now of Ichiyo is if he has a card, a combination of cards that would be able to go to deal 10 damage, even if he blocks this turn.
Right.
Because if he doesn't have it, he should just block. Very crucial, very tense. Um, you can see the struggle on their
Right,
faces.
Would you happen to know what is in Ichiyo's hands right now?
I haven't, I wasn't able to look at the specific cards, but if I'm not mistaken, these are all arrows that block for
Mm,
3.
right.
So what's
So,
interesting is Ichiyo actually knows exactly the amount of damage that Miko could threaten during this turn, and he knows that it is potentially able to reach 18. With the Descendant for 6, Ichiyo goes down to 12. Descendant for Bonds for 5, Ichiyo goes down to 7, followed by a Fluster Fist that will attack for 6, possibly 7 from the Breaking Scales. So it's a very interesting choice of combination. And again, this goes back to the previous turn. What if he didn't block the other card?
Mm.
It would threaten Ichiyo's entire hand.
He's considering giving up his New Horizon.
I don't think he has any better choice. At this point, he's incentivized to block with it. He does not have any cards in his arsenal for the drawback of blocking with New Horizons. But again, he has to block this out. If he takes this, he goes down to 7, which might be okay. And he goes down to 6, which might be okay. But he knows that Lexi has more potential to have um, better better cards such as Codex of Frailty, such as Three of a Kind. Basically those two.
Those, yeah.
But now the tempo is on the side of the Katsu, and it is on him to actually keep up the tempo and keep threatening damage. And we'll see if he is able to this turn.
It's ideal to actually present lethal here. Right?
Ideally, he should present lethal every turn. Because he has a very good card in his hand, the um, Razor Reflex, which allows him to do some sort of combat tricks. He also has an ancestral empowerment. So he's considering if he should just play out the ancestral. Look what he's going to draw. He opted
To Arsenal and
to
pass.
Arsenal and pass.
Huh.
I'm not
And
sure
he's
if
gonna
that
rely on the
is.
flick flack to block.
I'm not entirely sure if that is
That was the optimal play.
the
right?
optimal play at that time. He still had two cards that he could still play out. They won't be effective uses of those cards, but it's better than just keeping them in hand. The Razor Reflex is a 2
Right.
block. So um, maybe Miko will have a bit of
Yeah.
a review of this game after
Yeah.
after this finishes. The game is not yet over. Lexi has no arsenal. They only have New Horizon, so blocking equipment, and this is still anyone's game. Blocks with the. What did he put in arsenal? Was it the Razor Reflex?
I think so. Yes.
What I'm thinking is maybe Miko knows something about his deck that we don't know. Maybe he was thinking of
Because Ichiyo might not be able to present lethal here, and then Miko can gain back the tempo on the swing back.
well, definitely Flick Flack is one of the better cards to use against Lexi. You block clean 4, then your next combo card will block for 5 for 4 or 5. We'll see how this plays out. So we haven't seen any of the other um, um, big cards from Lexi. We haven't seen any Three of a Kind yet.
Right.
Only seen one Rain Razors and no Codex of Frailties yet. No Codices yet. So this drill shot is not threatening too much damage, but the Flick Flack effect allows the Lord of Windblock to block this cleanly. And now Miko has a 2 card hand plus
hand.
Arsenal,
So, yeah.
and Kodachi is at his disposal. And Ichiyo does not
Have an
have
arsenal.
an arsenal again. So maybe that was the right call.
He pitched a red.
He pitched a red. signifying that he does not have any blue cards to pitch. And another
Ah,
ancestral
another.
empowerment.
Okay,
This
okay,
is
okay.
very awkward.
Hmm.
And this gives Ichiyo some breathing room to play with a full hand that has a three of a kind and an Arctic Incarceration. The Arctic Incarceration, he could just use it as a resource card, or he could arsenal it at the end of his turn. He, this is a very awkward draw. He drew a Rain Razors, a three of a kind, and one arrow. So he definitely won't be able to play the Arctic Incarceration as well as the three of a kind this turn. So one of them will be definitely be used for resources this turn. This Bolton shot is going to attack for 5. And Ichiyo is basically playing face up. Miko knows that there are no other shenanigans that could happen from hand. No lightning presses, no art of wars, no rain razors, because he played the three of a kind this turn. So if Miko blocks this correctly, Miko can actually proceed with this turn and threaten lethal. One interesting thing to note is since Bolt and Shot allows you to reload the card, this allows you to go over the restriction of the three of a kind.
Hmm.
So he can reload the three of a kind or the Arctic Incarceration
Yeah.
while still allowing him to reload another arrow and continue the turn. So let's see how he is going to navigate this very tricky scenario. I think this might be a mask block with a 2 block or 3 block. Then add the Mask of Momentum.
Gives
So
a
this is
plus
a
two hit.
clean
Yeah.
4+1 because
Yeah.
of the Art of War. Miko highly valuing the effect that the Art of War has given, and also respecting what the Bolt and Shot could do. So this basically kills Ichiyo's turn. Miko could just take this if he has a good swing back, and basically Ichiyo was left with a very clunky hand because of the amount of non-attack actions and non-attack action cards that he drew from the three of a kind. So he has three of the best cards in his deck on his hand, but he can't play
Can't
any of
play
them.
any of them. Yeah. Hmm.
So that's one of the things that I find very awkward with um, playing Lexi.
Hmm.
There are really these turns that are very awkward. Sometimes you could draw into multiple codices, multiple three of a
Right.
kinds, and sometimes you play a three of a kind and don't draw any arrows. But
Yeah.
I think that is the part of the RNG that you should accept.
But when it
Uh,
curves out,
but
it's
if it
super
curves
efficient.
curves out, it's so very efficient.
Yeah.
Attacking for 7 and 7 and 7 from seemingly out of nowhere. So this gives Miko the opportunity to play out. And I'm wondering if what if he simply blocked with one of the ninja cards and played the Command and Conquer? Would it have been a bigger difference? And I think
Hmm.
it might be. If he blocked with another card and played the Command and Conquer, this would threaten the arsenal of Ichi,
Right.
forcing him to block.
To
And if
block at
you
least
look
one.
at his
Yeah.
hand,
Right.
if you look at his hand, he only has a total of 7 block in his hand right now. He has a Rain
Hmm.
Razors and two blocks, and the other one is a 3 block. So it could have been this would have played out differently. We have messages on the chat.
Hmm.
A shout out to Ichiyo sleeves, which I agree.
Yeah.
Cool sleeves.
Those
And
might actually be Dragon Shield dual mats, right? The wraith colored.
is this
Yeah.
sponsored? No.
No, I just have the same set of sleeves.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Ponks said something in the chat. Couldn't Ichi have played Rustling Leaves? And correct, that is one of the lines that he might have been considering,
Right,
given that he still had go again after playing the Falcon Wing.
right.
However, it could be a bit clunky, and he just opted um, to arsenal one of his cards. I think the better decision would have been to just pitch them out, because at this point in the game, even you have these good power cards, if they don't block for anything, they are liabilities more than incentives when you have them in your hand. And you can see here, Rain Razors blocks for 0, Arctic blocks for 2, Tree of a Kind blocks for 2, Lil Shot blocks for 3. So it's a total of 7 block this turn.
Right.
And even on his own turn, it will still be awkward unless he draws good cards from the Three of Kind. Well, he could. Well, yeah, the best play would still play the Rain Razors first before the Three of a Kind. But the glaring question is, will Miko allow Ichi to reach that point? It would depend on what is in Miko's hand and arsenal.
Is it still the raise? Oh, okay.
It
It's
might
is
be.
the
It is still the Razor Reflex.
reflex, yeah.
That is very interesting. Maybe that is why he just opted to not do anything in that turn. He is maybe he knows his matchup, and he knows that one of the ways he could go over. Oh,
Whoa! Wow!
crap! Although
Wow!
this is major, this would depend highly if he draws a blue, and
Arrows,
which he
and he
does.
does.
So this is a drill shot
Wow!
for 8.
Yeah.
He has 2
Wow!
resources floating, and this is threatening. This definitely deserves a mask block. Did he already block with the mask?
Mm,
I'm not sure.
not yet. I think he blocked with the tunic.
Yeah, I think the mask is still there.
He's still live. Yeah.
So this definitely deserves a mask block, since it will get a counter anyway from the drill shot. So why not just this is blocking for. Did he block with it? I'm not sure if he motioned
Yeah. Yeah.
towards the
Towards
mask,
the mask. Yeah.
but I don't think it's very clear if he blocked with it. This definitely would be the time to block with it. Then you block again with a combo card. Actually, you just block out the whole hand.
Whole hand. Yeah.
Or
Selected.
did he put a counter on the Mask of Momentum? So this is blocking for 7 total. This will still deal
And he's blocking
3
with the
damage.
mask.
I'm not sure what happened there. The drill shot was hitting for 8. He blocked with 7.
Yeah.
So there,
And he's
sure,
down to three.
now he's down 2. And Ichiyo has all the tempo in the world. Unless he whiffs,
Which
um,
he didn't.
Ichiyo has this game in the bag.
Right.
Again, we can see why Bolt and Shot is such a good card.
Yeah.
It can extend your, basically allows you to reload another card if it hits. But I'm not sure Miko has the uh, has the leeway to allow this to hit at this point. And looks like he's pushed into a corner to blocking every turn at this point. Yeah. Yeah, we have messages in the comments. Ponk saying, Miko let the drill shot hit. If the drill shot hit, it could have added a counter, a -1 counter on the minus defense counter on the Mask of Momentum. Not entirely sure what happened that turn. It's a casual lethal for 4 and go again. And what if this is another shot? I think this is game.
Hmm. Is
Attacking for
that
6.
game? Does he have
Yeah, heal.
armor? Yeah, that's game.
That's game.
All right, and
So
Lexi takes
Lexi,
the win.
Ichiyo on Lexi takes the win.
All right, and we will take a short break. We'll see you guys in the finals match.
Yep.
And we are live here in the finals match.
Yeah, and it's three of us this time. Jigs, Carl, and Jet will be commentating on Justin and Ichiyo's match. Bravo versus Lexi.
So Justin is a um, one of the most accomplished Philippine players.
Mm-hmm.
He won the Calling Taipei on Azalea, making the Azalea cult proud. But today he's playing another hero, which is Bravo, which is, if I'm not mistaken, his original hero.
Actually,
Hmm.
his original hero was Bravo because both of us we were like working on a budget, and Bravo is a pretty budget-friendly hero.
Yep.
But he really does love Kano. But again, into this field, Kano is kind of in a bad spot. You know? So yeah, he brought Bravo. He told me we talked about this in length. We talked about if he was gonna bring Azalea or not, and he said, you know what, I feel like people won't expect me to be back on Bravo after his showing in Taipei. And I was like, yeah, if you wanna surprise everyone who is ready for your Azalea, yeah, bring
Yep,
Bravo.
I agree. Ichi, on the other hand, is a local player from south of Metro Manila.
Hmm.
He's also a relatively new player. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he also started earlier this year. His main hero is Lexi. His brother, actually, Kevin, is actually one of the finalists of the Philippines Nationals, as well as one of the ProQuest winners, I think, last week.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He beat. I was in that ProQuest. I lost to him in the semis,
Oh,
and then he beat out the Katsu in the finals. So yeah, actually speaking of that matchup, his Ichiyo's brother was also on Lexi, so not surprising to see Ichiyo also on Lexi. So this matchup is very familiar to me in particular
hmm,
because I fought a lot of Lexis in my day, and honestly, I find them very hard to beat. But today, just today, Justin has not lost to Alexi yet,
Yet.
which is not surprising, but you know, it's a pretty big accomplishment to
yep.
be able to fatigue the deck to beat.
And
Or
we will see if Justin's able will be able to continue um, uh, that trend
yeah,
for the finals.
actually, this part right here is probably the most important part of the
Mm-hmm.
match. Justin and I talked about how if we're fighting Lexi, if Bravo is fighting Lexi, if the Lexi is fat decking or putting all of their cards in the sideboard, Bravo can raise her because it
Hmm.
dilutes their threat density by a lot. And then you like there are windows where you can just
Right.
like
It
jam
won't be as
heavy
efficient.
attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it becomes hard for them to get fatigued. But if we see that like the Lexi's not putting any sideboard cards in and they're bringing a
Mm.
clean 60, they're fatigable. Like
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
100%, you can fatigue them. So this is actually the mix up where they're like shuffling their cards, deciding who goes first, and I can't tell if it's the triple sleeves, but that looks like a
A very thick
fairly
deck.
yeah fairly thick deck for Ichiyo. So not sure. We'll find out in a bit if he has decided to fat deck or not. and we'll see how that goes for
And
the
it's
rest of this round.
also interesting since they already faced each other in the last round of Swiss,
Mm-hmm.
and Justin was able to fatigue Ichi, and
Yeah.
they were, I think, both down to tens. I think 14 and 16. They were, it was a pretty close match, but at the end, Ichiyo wasn't able to clutch the win
Yep.
after being fatigued.
Yeah. And in that game, Ichi brought 60 cards.
He
So
did bring 60.
it's interesting to see if either of them will change their game plan
Hmm.
based on what happened in Swiss.
Well, we can see that he did not change his quiver.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
same quiver.
many of the Lexis during the time when old him was still a thing, they used to run remembrances and the quiver of abyssal depths just for the added, the extended deck, the fatter deck.
The fatter deck.
But I think it is the meta call this time to not run it that way. So
Actually,
we'll see.
it looks like Justin is bringing in the steel braid buckler, so most likely this is going to be a fatigue match, right? Because he's looking for that extra block, that extra 14 life that we
Mm-hmm.
talked about in the previous Bravo matchups. So we'll see here in a bit if Ichi has decided to fat deck or is going lean, and how this game will play out. Because even if it's a lean deck versus a fatigue deck, it can still go either way. Because
Mm-hmm.
if Ichi knows how to pitch stack properly, if he plays the cards right, and you know, we'll see how either player dishes out their own damage.
It also depends with how their cards align in the first few turns of the game. If either player will be forced to block with the equipment early, or if they will um, relatively relatively be more comfortable with just um, playing out their turns like how they want them to. So Justin's blocking for 6 right off the bat.
Yeah, it looks like Justin's going second, so this is exactly what he wants to be doing. Just blocking with cards, making sure nothing gets through, and then he can refresh his hand.
Mm-hmm. So Lexi generally plays around 36 reds
Yeah.
baseline,
Hmm.
and for that first turn, he already used up 2 of his good reds, an infecting shot and searing shot,
Yes.
and this actually is 1 out of 18. Um, so the threat density is definitely lower, and he did not accomplish
Yeah, he
anything
didn't. He didn't leak
that turn
that
at
turn.
all.
So those are two reds gone that didn't really do anything.
So we'll see if that is that goes with the plan to have recursion eventually with Codex of Realty,
Yeah.
or let's see.
But here it looks like it's a surge into dominate with a spinal crush.
Yeah.
Just in opting not to put anything in the arsenal in favor of
Mm-hmm.
forcing the time walk or forcing the armor block.
So, Ichiyo brought the Arctic Incarceration. Is that Arctic Incarceration?
I think so.
Or
Yes.
Winter's Bite?
I think it's both Winter's Bite and Arctic Incarceration.
If it is Arctic Incarceration, I am thinking that he did add more cards to his 60 card deck.
Mhm.
Since most of the time, you don't really want to put in Arctic Incarceration for the Lexi matchup.
Actually, I've seen
For the
I've seen a
for the
bunch
Bravo
of
matchup
Lexis run that into Bravo.
against Bravo.
Yeah, but then personally, it is a bother, you know. But I can just also
Mm-hmm.
hit you with a hammer for
Yep.
like 2 cards. So maybe it's a fat deck, maybe it isn't. We'll see.
But he's forced to block this turn unless he is able to um, have a pumped attack for his next turn,
Yeah,
and that does not seem to be the case.
dominated.
It's
I
a
think
very awkward.
he can give 1 card and
Mhm.
then perch grapplers and hornet sting.
But would you give the equipment this early at 40 life? Not entirely sure.
It is a time walk. It's gonna if
It's gonna hamper
yeah.
his turn.
So oh,
But
it's
this is
dominated. Yeah,
dominated.
this is dominated. You can't block it.
So even if you block,
Yeah.
you don't have a choice but That's the main problem with
It's gonna
Lexi,
have to
right?
be a 3 block,
Mm-hmm.
which looks like it'll have to be an arrow, then it'll have to be
But
Thieves' Thing. So they'll be able to shoot the infecting shot in his arsenal,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then play Arctic Incarceration,
Yeah,
and then
I
Arsenal the
think
Bolton shot.
maybe that's
Yeah, is that the
the
play?
best line of play. The problem is,
Problem is that's not very
yep,
threatening. No.
and we talked about Spinal Crush being a time walk effect, but Justin has 8 more of those
Yes.
in his deck.
There's 8 more time walk effects in the
So,
deck.
and more of those cards are, um, they, they hit for more. Starstruck hits for
This is
10.
the smallest one. This is
Yes.
the smallest one.
And Crippling Crush hits for 11.
Yep.
So,
Crippling Crush. Honestly, Crippling Crush in this matchup I don't feel is as
Amazing.
devastating. Yeah.
Mm.
It doesn't hurt as much to lose 2 cards, especially if they have 3 of a
Mhm.
kind, because it's literally just like, okay, I'll take 11. Here, take like 20. or
Yeah, if you
something.
have 3 of a kind.
Yeah, 3 of a kind and an arrow in arsenal.
I
That's
agree.
like a nightmare. So here's a Bolton shot.
So he is likely going to attack with the infecting shot and arsenal the Arctic Incarceration.
Unless he wants to set up a 3 arrow turn next turn.
This could also be the case.
Yeah, this could be.
It might be a good choice since Justin does not have any cards in his arsenal right
That's
now.
true. Yeah, eating Justin's hand here would
No.
be pretty good.
I'm just looking at the amount of blocks Justin has
Yeah,
with his
yes.
fridge.
It's extra
It's
14
14.
life. Yeah.
It's basically one big turn from the Lexi.
Yeah.
So this is not an auto block from Justin. So
No.
this signals to me that he is not necessarily in the fatigue game plan.
Oh, but here is the block, and he gets
Automatically.
another surge.
So he
Yeah.
might be considering
Pivoting.
maybe pivoting or maybe trading some life totals,
Mhm.
maybe at the start of the game.
I think with a block like this, you just play the Arctic Incarceration, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Play the Arctic Incarceration, force them to do basically
To
nothing.
do
on their
very
turn.
ineffective stuff.
Yeah.
If he chooses to play the Typhon's Fist, he doesn't have any arsenal in his next turn.
So there's 3 frostbites. If he wants to be able to draw 4 cards, he'll have to pitch both. If they're blues, he'll have to pitch both
Mhm.
to hammer, or pitch both to make a surge. But I think hammer is better in this case.
Mhm. Yeah, he can't even make a seismic surge
Yeah.
off of one card.
Yeah.
Mm.
He has 2 surge popping.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
so
he's
that's
just throwing
exactly
the
what he
hammer.
does.
With the hammer.
Yep.
He's fine. He had 2 Terra Sunders, which is not necessarily the best arsenal card. Sometimes it clumps
Yeah,
your
sometimes it
arsenal up.
clogs your arsenal,
Mhm.
but I think it's okay to arsenal it when you have Crown of
Mhm.
Providence up.
But sometimes,
sometimes
you
it's
can't
better
just
to
play
just
it out at
get
all.
the 4 damage and just whack them.
Ichiyo just taking the damage. Was that the right move there? To just take the damage from the hammer?
Yeah, I feel
I
like
think so.
if there was a window to get between the Bravos' attacks, that was it.
Yes, especially with this
Yeah, with this
staff,
hand,
drill shot.
yeah, drill shot coming in.
Yeah, drill shot is break point at 4. If
Yeah,
it hits, you put the counter. So Justin is actually incentivized already block with the equipment
yeah, or block with 2 cards.
or block with 2 cards,
Yeah.
which is very inefficient
Yeah,
unless he has defense reaction.
Yes. So it looks like here he's gonna give
The civic steps.
yeah,
for
the
sure.
civic steps for sure. Oh, did he pick up the? I think he picked up the
The,
tectonic plate.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, civic steps.
Yeah,
Giving
yeah.
a quicken token
you,
is
you block the second to the last attack
Mm.
with civic steps, because if you block with civic steps here, the infecting shot comes out.
makes sense. This goes for 4.
Yeah.
He still has 1 card in hand.
For this is usually like the take arrow, you know,
Mhm.
because it
Yes,
doesn't have
this is
any
take
on
arrow.
hits, it's fine. Sure, it stings a little, but then your
And-
hammer is also 4, so
Unless you're already on the dedicated fatigue plan.
yeah. Then
So
this
you
is
may block with 1 card.
everything, yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Spin a
activating
quiver.
the quiver.
Mm, interesting choice.
Looks like he whiffed. On
Yeah,
the
he whiffed
quiver,
on
yeah.
it.
playing the Infecting Shot. So Justin did take the 4 from Falcon Wing.
So this is a card that's likely going to be blocked by 2 cards.
Yeah.
And Justin is just going to swing back with a
Yeah,
with
with
a hammer.
hammer and then Arsenal something. Yep. Sounds good, sounds good.
So you would feel that Justin is at the is on the losing side of that trade, but actually that's not the case.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good position for the Bravo because Lexi with no Arsenal and then blind drawing the top.
Right.
See, there he has a what is that? Heat Seeker,
Lightning press.
Lightning Press, and an Arctic Incarceration. So he's throwing out hammer here. You block with 1 card, you're actually losing value.
Yes, you're
on what
losing
trying to do.
value. And this is hitting for 4.
Yep. So it looks like he's just taking 4 down to 29.
From the number of things that Ichiyo started was doing on his own turn, he did not deal any damage.
Yes.
And Justin, just with 1 card,
Right.
Just did it
It's
back.
him for 4.
converts 1 pitch
A
card
very
for
simple
damage.
hammer for
Yeah,
Hammer
so
for
efficient.
4.
Yeah.
Hammer for 4.
Value.
Here he goes. Loading
With Tunic.
with Tunic. Yeah. Loading and shooting with Tunic.
So this will go again.
4. Yep, would go again.
A good lightning press target. A good lightning press target, followed by an Arctic Incarceration
Yes,
again.
that would be very painful.
Then Arsenal the Heat Seeker. It would be fine.
Setting up for the next turn.
But again, for a fatigue matchup, you actually highly value these reaction type cards, such as Lightning Press, Art of War,
Yeah.
since these are the few opportunities that you can sneak
Sneak in damage,
damage,
yeah,
but
you get the on-hit effect again.
it's still not that easy.
Yep.
He can actually pitch one of the cards and play the Endless Arrow again.
Yeah, that's true. If he wants to do it instead
If
of
he
the
wa-
Arctic Incarceration, like damage over tempo.
If
right?
yeah, I think that's a better play.
Looks like
He can
he's
actually give it go again.
pitching the Heat Seeker.
And then, yeah, he gives it goes again. Go
Gives
again.
it Go again, so he can play the
And yeah,
Arctic Incarceration.
Arctic Incarceration again. So Justin was forced for an awkward block, losing his shield, but he still has 2 cards in hand and 1 card in arsenal.
You block with a pommel and debilitate.
When would be the times when you would expect Lexi to have a attack reaction? Jigs, what do you think?
Honestly, I just don't play around that anymore
Yeah.
because if I'm always thinking of the Rain Razors, it's just losing, right?
Yeah.
If you block the 4 with
If you
6 every
overblock.
time, yeah, if you
And
overblock every time.
Even if they have it, then just don't use it that
Yeah,
turn.
it's better to just like bait it out as fast as possible and then count the razors in the deck by looking through the graveyard. And then, yeah, it's the same concept as with Katsu. You want the breaking scales gone as soon as possible.
Ichiyo sort of won that exchange. Justin was forced to have only 1 card left in hand, but
He
he
has to-
couldn't
he
play
has
at
to.
all. He has to.
I think he has to.
No, he drew up during his turn.
Oh, he just passed? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just
Because he had 3 frostbites
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and nothing,
And
to do on
nothing
his
to
turn.
do.
So again, this is one of the. It looks inconspicuous, this Winter's Bite, but it's very annoying to play
Yes,
against
it
this
is
Winter's
so
Bite.
annoying. No, the
Oh.
quiver whiffed, so it was not destroyed. Through kind, bang, golden shot.
Pretty good turn.
Go again.
And I think as the Lexi player, this is how you go over the Bravo player. You have to choose when to use your Winter's Bites and your Codex of Frailties.
He's
And
got 2 premeditates in hand though, and another blue. So this 3 of a kind turn, it's not the best.
it's not the best. What he could do is, again, try to look for Quiver. To search with Quiver. Look at the top of his deck from Quiver.
I can hear Justin flicking his cards from here. I am the same. I flick my cards when I'm thinking.
But he's in a relatively comfortable position right
Yeah.
now.
Ooh, interesting.
It's a
So
5 block.
this might actually be bad because he gives a quicken token expecting the next arrow, but Ichiyo whiffed on the three of a kind. So the quicken token might live.
But this also respects the Molten Shot. Since
Yes.
this is played in a 3 of a
their
kind
quiver?
turn, you can load up the Premeditate.
Oh yeah.
You can load up the Premeditate, and basically you gave him a free 3 damage.
Yeah, it looks like he whiffed on the quiver again.
Again.
2 premeditates on
And
hand.
this is one of those sequences you would not like to see on your second
Yeah.
cycle. 2 blues
2 blues right next to
right
each other.
next to each other. Oh, and that ends his turn.
Yes. So Justin has a breathable turn here. By breathable, I mean he can hammer peacefully. Oh no, he plays the CNC. Makes a surge CNC and 1 card in hand, so he'll have an arsenal. And having an arsenal against Lexi is so important because
It's very,
exactly
very
that,
important.
Because of that, because of Codex of Frailty.
I think that's one of the things that many players forget when they're playing against um, rangers or assassins.
Yeah, that your
Is
arsenal
your
has to be
arsenal
full.
has to be full as often as possible.
Yes.
Since if you don't,
They can snipe a card
yeah,
out of your hand. Yeah.
it's basically sniping a card out.
So I value Crown a lot in this matchup because, for example, Bravo has a lot of all blue hands, and you don't really want to arsenal blue. But against this matchup, you're just like just stick it in the arsenal and hope that the Codex comes, so that technically they lose value. Then you can crown it away, draw another card, something to block with.
Again, this is a very awkward turn for Lexi. He has some of his power cards.
He has 3 2 blocks.
Yep.
And the endless arrow. I think we saw a hand like this earlier as well when
And
he
that's
was playing.
one of the things I really don't like about Lexi.
Yeah, a bunch of 2 blocks.
He is considering just
letting it happen.
And um, just taking the damage and losing the Premeditate. However, because otherwise he doesn't have a turn. He literally doesn't have anything.
If he blocks here, he's not gonna have anything.
I think his best recourse is just to block with the arrow and just leave a Codex of Frailty, and maybe just throw out a good hit effect arrow, so just drill shot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the most efficient thing that you could do.
Codex into drill shot and then pass. That
Or
feels
maybe
bad.
endless arrow, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe he can take this 6. It looks like he's taking this 6. And then he'll play out his hand without his arsenal.
But even
that does feel bad.
if he keeps the hand, it's not an amazing hand.
Yeah,
Play the Premeditate.
it's not amazing because Justin has an arsenal.
Yes.
We talked about. He doesn't snipe a card. Play the pre-med.
Pitch the Codex.
Endless.
Load endless.
7
Go again. Then
So this eats the quicken token.
so we should watch out for this. This is a very good. This is a good tell that Ichiyo is a very skilled player on Lexi. He had He had the Codices of Frailty, but he did not check his graveyard.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the tells
That's
when
one of
you're
the
playing
tells.
against the Lexi.
Yeah, they
then
pick up their
They
graveyard.
draw their hand, and then they suddenly look
Pick
at
up
their
their
graveyard.
graveyard.
This player has Codex of
Codex.
Frailty. So that is showing very good restraint from the side of Ichi. Because he also knows that Justin can read that as well.
Yes. Justin's very familiar with the mannerisms of people. And he picked up his graveyard, I don't know. So I think here Justin is considering how many cards he wants to give, how much he values the premeditates on hit effect. Because if he takes this, the ponder will actually not do
Mm-hmm.
much, right? Because he'll have too many cards in hand. But if he takes this, it's 7 damage, and if he's on the fatigue plan, it's not really where you want to be. So
And he did show to the camera that he has a Starstruck.
really,
So
oh,
he might be considering playing that out this turn.
if I
But
know Justin, he's gonna block.
he's going to block.
Yeah, if I know my boy, he's gonna be blocking.
He can't play it out though. He
Uh,
has two blues.
he has a seismic surge though,
Oh, he does
so
have
he
it.
can block with one card and then
Mm-hmm.
Starstruck.
But he's gonna block.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna
He's
block.
gonna block. I think he's going to block with one piece of equipment
In
and two cards,
Yeah.
which I think is the correct play.
Yeah, because two cards, one equip, and then Codex, blah blah blah, and then Justin's turn he has blue and CNC, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This makes another surge. It might matter. Probably not going to.
So this is an attack for 7 being blocked by 7.
Yeah, so he's
So we
playing
followed
Codex.
up by a Codex of Frailty. And what is his best target at this time? His best target, I think, would be
Like
maybe an infecting shot.
another. And, oh, and he has the resources to shoot the
Mhm.
infecting shot. All right.
Infecting shot. Yep.
So
Or maybe there might be consideration for a heat seeker, but
oh yeah.
he already has a ponder token
Yeah,
anyway.
this feels like it's definitely gonna get blocked. Yep, two cards.
Yep.
No issue with Justin
No
here.
issue, Justin.
Happy to see. Happy to see.
And an automatic
Right.
arsenal from the side of Ichiyo.
Yeah.
I don't think he
he
even looked at
knows
the
he's
card.
not even gonna look at it. He'll check it out later. That's
Are
rain
those
razors. Are
two
those?
CNCs?
Yeah, that's two command and conquers. It's two command and conquers.
Yeah,
in
this
Ichiyo's
would have been
hand.
great if he still had the freaking token,
Yeah.
Right.
but he doesn't have it.
Unfortunately, he does not, and he has a blue fatigue shot. Flipping it up from Lexi. So fatigue shot is honestly one of the most annoying cards that I've
Mhm.
ever run
What
up
does fatigue
against.
shot do again?
It halves the damage of your first attack. So as
Ah.
Bravo, like especially the way I play, and I want to crack back, right?
Right, right,
When
right.
I get hit with a fatigue shot, I'm like, okay, I guess I have to block this, or my turn's
Right, right.
worthless.
This turn is also quite awkward for Ichi. He has two CNCs, a rain lasers, and then
Hamstring shot?
a red?
Yeah, it's a
Is
red
that
hamstring
red?
shot, I believe.
So his best recourse would
Pitch a CNC.
pitch a CNC.
Pitch a
Play the
CNC.
hamstring, but
Play the
that's so
hamstring.
awkward.
Yeah, this feels super weird on his side.
Well, if you're expecting to go to the second cycle, there's an argument to just pitch out
The rain razor.
the hamstring shot with the
With the rain razor.
rain lasers,
Mm.
maybe. But I
play
don't think
CNC.
that he is on that game plan.
Yeah, I think he's trying to kill
He's
him
trying
now.
to kill him now. This is awkward. He has to pitch everything in order to throw at everything, and
Yeah,
that
so-
just deals 5
Honestly,
plus
that's horrible.
3
because
damage.
This is gonna be like a turn away from the turn with two blues,
Mhm.
right? So he'll have a two blue turn and then a two CNC turn.
On just inside, you see that Ichi had um, he had 2 CNCs, and Justin has 2 crippling crushes.
I guess we're even on that front, yeah. It looks like Justin also has a sink below.
Mm-hmm.
That might matter for what's about to happen next.
It's quite awkward
Yeah, to sink this
to
card. 'cause
sync
it's
this
a
card.
five.
It's a 5.
This might just be two card block.
Mhm.
Is it? How many reds does
Likely.
Justin have?
Yeah, I won't be surprised if the 2 crippling crushes.
Yeah, get in the way of this thing. Or maybe a card and Crater Fist.
Maybe.
Looks like he's thinking about sinking it and taking the damage.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe sinking the one of the crippling
Because
crushers.
if he sinks this, yeah, he can put away one of the crippling
Mhm.
crushes and draw something better.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that way, Ichi will not be aware of what is coming
Mhm.
next in Justin's
Yep.
pitch
Right.
step.
One of the best side uses of the
Yeah.
sink belows and the enlightened strikes of the world.
Yes. Oh yeah, Enlightened Strike, bottoming a
Mm-hmm.
crippling crush.
Right.
Then later on, you're like, where's the third one?
Yep.
Here it is.
Here it is.
And that ends his turn. So
Mm.
what is in the arsenal? Rain Razors,
But
right?
he chose he chose not to play out the fatigue shot. Hmm.
Maybe he's waiting for Rain Razor's turn where he can kind of
Yeah,
got
I
him with
think
the
that
fatigue
is
shot.
her best course of action, but at this point,
Oh, he makes a surge and plays Showtime?
mm-hmm.
He's getting a
What
card.
is he getting? What do you think?
I am I'm confused here what he's getting because he has an arsenal.
And he won't be able
Yeah, he
to
won't be
play
able
it
to play
out
it.
this turn.
So he's thinking about getting choke slam, I think.
So Justin should be careful on how he
Yeah.
navigates this since he already played it. He has his deck in his hand.
Yeah.
He has
It's too
nothing
late to go
else to
back.
do in this turn.
Okay, I guess getting
So that
Starstruck
is
makes
threatening
sense
a
here.
Starstruck for the next turn. But
Yeah.
if Ichi can present a very good turn on his next turn,
Oh,
the
actually,
Starstruck also has the added effect of unity.
yeah, I think
So
what Justin's planning here is he'll pick up the Starstruck and with the intent to block with it.
mm,
So he'll block maximum 3
mm-hmm,
cards, and then the Showtime will let him draw presumably a blue,
mm-hmm.
and then whatever in his arsenal is
Just
gonna
attack
come
with the
out. Yeah.
hammer, or it's a very interesting
Okay,
way of.
so he's putting Crippling Crush on the bottom. So Crippling Crush is now next to a Cranial Crush.
So definitely is going to play out his Rain Raiders.
Yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a big turn from Ichi.
Yeah, he has a
Yeah, play the Rain Razors. Loading,
wave golden shot
loading a Bolton Shot.
coming in for 6.
Yep, come in for 6.
Justin is more than likely going to block with 2 cards, the minimum. It's likely
Yeah,
thinking if
Starstruck
there
and
is still
another.
any shenanigans such as lightning presses,
Yes.
but at this point you don't play around them.
Yeah, playing around that would be losing a card. It looks like he's blocking with just Starstruck. Justin, you have me confused. I need to talk to you after this match. Because I fully expected the Starstruck to block with a card
Mm-hmm.
so that he could make another surge.
Choosing to attack with the Heat Seeker for 5+2,
So 7.
7.
So,
Then attacking with the fatigue shot, I guess.
yeah.
Because there is really no reason to leave the fatigue shot on their arsenal
Yeah,
for that
like
long.
just leaving it there. It's eating up value, just sitting there.
So one of the considerations that Justin might be thinking is if he has a CNC
Right.
Oh yeah,
and a pommel, maybe. But
it looks like he has Boulder Drop in his hand.
I actually don't know what Boulder Trap does.
Boulder Drop is a 5 damage for 3 resource, and on Crush, you have to put a card from your hand to the top of your library.
Oh.
Wait,
And
Boulder Trap
Boulder
is
Drop.
not drop.
Drop, yeah.
Okay, okay. I thought you said trap.
Yeah, Boulder Drop. Yeah, Boulder Drop is one of the
3 for
inclusions
5.
Justin and I put in the deck instead of Warmongers because it turns on Anathos, it turns on Titan's Fist, and I've already played Boulder Drop with a pommel behind it, which is it gets rid of 2 cards, so that's funny. There's a Fate. Not
Ah,
entirely sure
so he
what
did
happened
not
there.
have Tunic ready to leave the Falcon shot, but that is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
This
looks
is
like he just plays Sigil. Arsenal pass.
yeah.
Okay. I guess
That was
that
in
was
his
a pretty
arsenal.
good defensive showcase of
Mm-hmm.
Showtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how Showtime will allow you to still take actions on your turn after blocking out fully and using your arsenal. It looks like I think Justin used his Crown of Providence also, if I'm not mistaken.
So how many rain racers have we seen? Just one, right?
Just one so far.
How many three of a kinds?
One also,
One.
I believe. We've seen one of each.
So this game is still up for grabs.
Yes, this is still very much up in the air.
Yep. Their decks will be thinning out in a bit, but
Yeah.
their life totals are still at a pretty high level.
Yeah, 29 to 23 is still very high for these decks. Although either deck can change that
Mm-hmm.
very quickly. Justin's giving a good long think to this drill shot because his armor is dwindling.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to see if it will retain value if he blocks with 2 cards or if he just blocks with a card and armor right now.
And I think that's the best use for the drill shot.
He has Fate Foreseen.
He had Fate Foreseen,
Cool.
so he didn't have to think about it.
Looks like he bottomed the card instantly. I just have to assume that was a red.
So Withering Shot is a good, an okay card.
Yeah. So block 6 here.
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy.
Arsenal
No
and Searing
decisions
Shot.
to be made. Yeah. Then he plays Hammer. Arsenal's the other card. The simple life.
Simple life. Dealing 4 damage.
Yeah. Deal 4 damage. It's your turn. Oh, it's 3 because.
Oh,
Oh no, it's not.
no, it's the cost.
Yeah, it's a cost.
You
yeah.
look at the
You
cost.
look at the cost. Okay, so this 4 that we've been talking about is starting to add up.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more 4s you take, the closer and closer your life gets to being just 4.
Yep. 23 life is just 2 crippling crushes
Yeah.
and a point of damage
To the
away
point
from
of
lethal.
damage, Yep. Here's a load. Loading up on infecting shot. Oh,
Infecting shot,
this
red.
hand looks painful. That's all 5s,
Mm-hmm.
right? Infecting shot,
And he has
fatigue shot.
a tunic resource.
Yeah, he has tunic, so he can
So
fire
can
3 arrows, I believe.
He fire all 3 arrows.
Yes.
I think so.
Right? Because you use one
Infecting
to
will
load,
use
shoot the heat seeker,
Heat Seeker for 5
then
and go again.
load the next, and then play
The Searing
the
Shot for
next.
free.
Oh, and the searing shot is free. Yeah, so you can fire 3 arrows this turn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a definite 2-card block.
6, followed
It's
by
2
the.
red choke slam. So
I
Justin.
don't think he's going to play the Infecting Shot this turn. I think he's going to play the Withering Shot.
Yeah, I think
The
fatigue shot.
fatigue shot.
Shot is better choice here
Mm-hmm.
because if he gets a hammer.
Oh, no.
He's playing the infecting shot, just pushing damage.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Then attacking with the Searing Shot, which would deal 4 damage,
4+1. That's fine. Okay.
which
So
Justin has to take.
I think the
he's
reason
down
why
to 24.
he didn't play the fatigue shot this turn was because he was sure he would eat all
Mhm.
Justin's cards, so
Mhm.
it actually loses value if it does hit because he won't be able to play anything anyway.
So we should be expecting to see more of the power cards.
Yeah, and here they come.
Some
There's
rain resource.
golden shots. Yeah,
So you can see that Ichiyo is playing in a
yeah.
bit of a faster pace right now.
Yeah,
He knows that he has the tempo, and he still has a relatively good number of reds in his deck.
yes.
That would still be
Very
relatively
high
comfortable.
threat density.
Mm-hmm. Crown is still alive.
Oh, it is still alive.
Still alive. He still has 2 blocks from the Crater Fist one block from the civic steps and the
Ah, yeah,
crown.
yeah,
So that is five, then two. Oh, five, then one.
yeah. Yes. Looks like Justin's got a Sigil of Solace in hand, so that there's one less block for this turn.
Card block, and
He's activating Quiver again,
he hits.
and he
And he
whiffed
whiffs
again.
again.
That is the third whiff in a row. That is upsetting.
That is painful.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
hitting
Justin
shot
Blue
And
aura.
again,
It's the
he
Justin
has
aura.
two blues right next to each other again.
Yes. So
Now
it's,
with no arsenal,
it's
so
that
that's
turn
plus
that Justin is waiting for, because those
very
two
annoying.
blues are followed by Justin's Krypton Crush turn, if you remember.
Yep.
And here he draws Ring Razors, Three of a Kind, and Codex.
So this is a potentially a really big turn.
Yes.
I would pitch the codex to
Yeah,
play
pitch
the
the
three of
codex.
kind.
Although there's an argument to be made if you
Mhm.
wanna just play the arrow and then play the Codex, then but then you discard the Rain Razors.
Yeah.
He's playing the Three of a Kind, pitching the Codex.
Okay.
Response Rain.
So that's just a flex. You don't
Yeah,
have to do
you don't
that.
have to do that. You just have to
Just
show
do it
that.
in response.
Like, oh, I know how the game
Yep,
works.
I know the rules. I know how the game
I
works.
know the rules.
And he does
draws a-
draw into
draws a-
arrows.
True arrows and the premeditate.
The premeditate is fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be
For
left
an
on
arsenal
his
for later. Yeah.
arsenal for later. This is stacking for 6.
Yep. So we're going 6.
It's just forcing more cards.
This is 6 into 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 into 5.
Into 6.
Unless you want
Into what's the other one? Bolden shot.
Bolton Shot. Yellow.
Yeah, you play the Bolden shot. Definitely using the tunic resource.
Yeah. Unless he wants to. Oh, I guess it's
Tunic
more efficient
resource?
to. I think no, he doesn't have tunic. He has
Isn't
only
that-
that's 2 counters. I
That
think
means
that's
2
just two.
counters. I thought that's a 3.
I
Isn't that
think
3?
that's the green from the
Oh,
tunic.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I think this is the most efficient way to play out this turn because
Mhm.
he'll have an arsenal in the end. So here, Justin blocking
no.
3.
And
Thinking
having
about-
a codex at the end of the game is not bad actually.
Yes, because if you catch him without an arsenal,
Mhm.
again you get to snipe a card out of there.
Justin is very careful not
Yes.
to be caught off guard without an arsenal. For the entire game, he's able to.
I would leave like a blue in there just the whole game, just so that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I never get caught with Codex.
a blue
Like
Terra
a-
Sunder,
Yeah, maybe
It's
Terra
fine,
Sunder,
it's
maybe
fine.
disable.
maybe
Yeah,
disable.
maybe Macho Grande.
Maybe.
For the one day where Macho Grande just kills
you
the
could
opponent.
just cast it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've seen, I think, 2 sigils, is it now, from Justin? He's holding a sink below, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Full block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full
Full
block.
block.
Very
Then
efficient block
Arsenal, the
inside.
pre-med.
Yeah, you were right. There is an argument of not playing it out immediately, just leaving them
So
for
you
the
can
next
have
turn.
3
3
arrow
arrow turn.
turn, yeah.
Gives additional 2 value for the Rain Raiders, but then again,
You don't really want
we
to
don't.
give Justin room,
Mhm.
right?
This is Winter's Bite into 3 arrows. He hasn't played any of the codices yet. I think he still has 3 in his deck. These might still be important to get recursion for um, his other red threats
Yeah.
at the end of the game. There used to be an argument when Lexi was. They say that Lexi was able to consistently fatigue Oldhim and the
Really?
Guardians. Yes,
Really? How?
when they had 3 remembrances and 3
Oh.
and the quiver.
So they'd fatigue them with
They
damage.
fatigue with damage. trade one pitch card and one arrow for two
For
card
two
blocks.
cards, yeah.
And if you could do that the entire game, you will
They-
definitely fatigue the guardian.
Yeah.
However, in order to do that, you have to tech too much into this
Against,
matchup.
yeah, into this matchup. So
And
your other matchups are.
Would you really expect that many Bravos
Yeah.
to be in the field?
Actually, in this field, we had like what
Bravos?
4 or 5 Bravos
I think we had
in the field.
6.
Six.
5 or
So
6.
Quite a few. We had quite
Quite
a
a
few
few.
Bravos in the field. But I know most of the Bravos who are playing. Shout out to my Bravo brothers. I know all of you wanna
Bravoders.
throw my Bravoders, my Bravoders. All of you wanna throw out them crippling crushes and starstrucks, and then we watch Justin and it's like he's just blocking, but somehow he wins, and it's like okay, okay. I wish I had that kind of patience. Yeah, we can learn a lot from from your boy.
From the master.
Yeah, the master. Because again, he has beaten 2 Lexis today,
Hmm.
and I
And one of
can't
those
remember
Lexis
when I.
is Ichiyo.
Yeah, one of the Lexis is playing against him right now.
So it is still Ichiyo's turn.
Yes,
He's
I
still
believe. So.
considering how
Yeah.
he is going to sequence his attacks for this turn.
Yes.
He knows that he is likely going to play out this Winter's Bite, but I think the question is when he is going to use it.
I think he's looking to pitch it actually.
Is it a? It was a blue.
It's a blue. It's a blue.
Mm.
So he's looking to
Oh,
use
maybe,
that.
yeah.
He's just thinking which arrow should go first.
Hmm. Since he does have a premeditated arsenal.
Yes. So which arrow do you want to hit?
Hmm.
And I think
What is this turn down card?
that's
That's the Winter's,
Winter's
Bite.
Bite. Yeah, that's the Winter's Bite.
Is that in his hand?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in his
He's-
hand.
he's
He
just
just
pitching.
signified
Looks
it
like
that.
he
He's
used,
going to pitch it.
Yeah.
He used Tunic to load, and then he's pitching the Winter's Bite to shoot. Yeah.
So this is not bad.
It's 8 damage.
It's 8
nothing
damage.
nothing to scoff about.
This will be followed up by another arrow.
Another 5 arrow.
Mm, yeah, he had no choice but to use the tunic. So he could play 2 cards.
Yes.
So this 8 breakpoint is annoying.
Yeah, it's like
You
what,
could-
2 cards
should
and
give up
Crater
3
Fist.
cards or 2 cards plus Crater Fist, which might be the best idea.
Oh, there's 3 cards though.
But this makes sure that the next attack is going to hit. So
I
this
don't think
is
so. He can still block with a card and Crater Fist. Oh, because it's plus
Mhm.
1. So
Well, he could use the crown, but
I don't think that's efficient.
unless that was an infecting shot, I guess.
Yeah. So here, the Withering Shot doesn't bother Justin too much. It's 3 damage.
Hmm.
Okay.
So we can see 2 very skilled players on probably their favorite decks.
Yes.
And you can see the amount of patience and restraint they are
My
showing.
Goodness, that's a Lightning Press, Rain
And
Razors.
is that a
3
blue
of
infecting
kind.
shot?
Yeah, and
It
the
is
blue
a blue
infecting
infecting
shot.
shot. So you can see the excitement on the side of Ichiyo.
Yeah, he kind of like
He knows
sat
that
up a little
this
and he's like,
is-
alright, let's go time.
It is go time. But the problem is he won't
Yeah.
be able to play that lightning
Unless
press.
he uses it to pitch for the 3 of a kind.
Mm.
Because if he uses it to pitch,
Oh,
he's pitch. I'm confused. What is happening?
Ah, okay,
Oh,
okay.
There you go. So it looks like he's
I
looking
mean, it
to
might be
arsenal the
fine.
Lightning Press.
Yeah, it's also a good arsenal target.
Yeah.
Since
So
you could
Girl Shot coming in
give
for
go again.
6.
Give go again to your first attack that turn.
Yeah.
And if I were on the side of Justin, this is getting pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's like the 3rd or
Mhm.
4th turn where he can't do anything.
Yep,
It's
and
just-
Ichiyo has been playing this very well.
Yes.
sequencing his threats, and yet it is getting to the point when his threat density is getting much lower
Yeah,
than
he's shot
before.
like red after red after
Is
red.
this the last Rain Razors?
This is the second rain
The
racers, I
second, so he
believe.
has one more
He has
Rain
one
Razors
more.
turn.
Justin's deck is running a little low.
Yeah, it may just be that he's not triple sleeve,
Yeah,
but we can't really tell from
you
here.
can't really
From
tell
this
from
angle.
this angle.
Yeah.
Okay, Jet is going off to take a look and see what the deck count looks like. He's our scout. There you can see him on the camera. Hello, Jet. Still good.
So it is
still
not
good,
triple
still good.
sleeves.
How does Ichi's deck look? Is it around the same size as his graveyard? If his graveyard is bigger, that's bad.
So, yeah, it is.
Oh, so he blocked with Crown and Civic Steps, giving the Bolt and Shot go again, Quicken. And he blocks with 2 cards again.
So yeah, this Fulton shot.
Yeah. Oh, he actually crowned away his arsenal so he could have more cards to block with the Soul Read that the guy does not. And he whiffs again. He whiffs
That's a fourth
again.
whiff.
That's the fourth whiff in a row, dude.
But you should attack with the fatigue shot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
he
That
should,
is
definitely.
attacking
And this
for
is a
7. And that is fine. The lightning press is coming back at the end of the game.
yes. It is next to 2
But
blues
it's
though.
again next to 2 blues, and
he
that
did
is
pitch a blue earlier, so
yeah.
it's like 3 blues.
So
But then, like, I mean,
This is
in the late
getting-
game, a blue that's lightning pressed still kind of hurts.
14
No,
life
14.
is
And see there,
still
Justin
relatively-
did not block 2 because, again, he values the arsenal. So even if his turn was nothing, just arsenal, he's okay with that.
for the past 4 or 5 turns. Ichiyo has been the only player who has been
Yeah,
doing
he's
anything.
been playing single player basically.
But you still can't say that he is in control of the game.
Yeah, because Justin is putting up a very good
7,
fight.
8, 9, 10 cards.
Oh, it's now getting to that point where you counter deck.
Oh, they're counting the deck.
I'd love for Ichiyo to also grab Justin's deck and count. And Ichiyo's like,
I think Justin has less cards right now.
from eyeballing,
Yeah,
maybe,
from eyeballing,
maybe.
maybe. I'm not sure. But
Oh,
then
but those are 2 blues.
those are 2 blues, and we're starting to see that since Ichiyo has been shooting red after red after red, he's running out of reds.
Mhm. This is attacking for 5.
Yep.
This will be followed up by a weaker arrow, and Justin will have a hammer swing. But
Justin still has Crater Fist active as well.
mhm.
So you can. I think if I were Justin, I would block with Crater Fist on a card here. But I'm not Justin, so I have no idea what he's gonna do.
He's gonna block with 2 cards.
Block with 2 cards.
Yeah. Justin is doing the mental math right now. of How many cards does this dude have left in his deck? Because this is still the first cycle. Both players showing very intense concentration and restraint. Um, both of them know what each player, the other player is doing,
Or know what they're capable of.
know what they're capable of. At this point, they have a general idea on what the rest of their decks look like.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure Justin has been keeping track of what will come next.
Of what
right?
threats.
What's
um,
left.
mhm.
There's 1 Rain Razors left, I believe.
But they're
The pitch stack of Ichi is horrid. It's 2
It is
blues,
bad.
then 2 CNCs next to each other later on, and then 3 blues and lightning press. So Justin has to be thinking about, okay, when is that coming?
One of
when
the-
are those CNCs coming out?
the interesting lines that could happen though is if the CNCs come before a codex turn.
Oh yeah,
if it would be the most opportune time when Justin does not have an arsenal
Mm-hmm.
and he will be reduced to a card less on blocking,
And then taking
and then
CNC
he has.
with 3.
It's interesting how that will play out.
Yeah.
It's a match that is well deserving of a finals at the ProQuest of Unbox,
Yes.
October 2023.
Unbox ProQuest.
Season 4.
Season 4.
4.
Aren't you supposed to have
Do we have any sponsors?
Like a spiel. We have sponsors.
Do we have sponsors?
The production is done by Unbox Live Events. Unbox Content,
Content
Studios.
Studio.
It says Unbox Live Events. Okay, so Unbox Content,
Content
Studios.
Studios.
Thanks to our director and general tech guy, JV. He's been here all day, helping us fix all the stuff for the stream. We hope you guys are enjoying the stream.
Again, this will be recorded on the
This is
YouTube
recorded.
channel.
It will go up on our
This will go up on
Unbox
the-
Flesh and Blood
Unbox
YouTube
Flesh and
channel because there are a lot of Unbox channels.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, okay, here Justin is deep in the tank, thinking, and there he goes. He's blocking it with 2 cards. And the last, hey, he's gonna quiver again, and it's a sleep dart.
hits.
It's a
Yeah.
blue sleep dart. Technically not a whiff.
Technically not a whiff, and the
Technically
quiver
not a
should be
whiff.
destroyed, but it
Yeah,
is
the
not the most
quiver.
ideal time to actually proc it.
There you go. It's busted up. Then he blocks.
Yep.
Right. Justin has no cards in hand, I believe.
He has 1 card. Oh no,
No, he has no cards.
he has no
No
cards.
cards in hand.
Oh, that is looking pretty
He's down
thin.
to his
Yes,
two
that-
But
hands.
like-
two
actually,
full
both
hands.
of them actually
And there's the
have.
CNC. There's the CNC hand that we were talking about. And it's next to
It's
a
next to
Codex of
Codex.
Frailty.
So, you arsenal the codex.
Play the CNC. Yeah, I think you
Mm,
just chuck the CNC here, right?
Yeah, but what else would you do?
I think
You pitch the codex.
I don't think there's much to do.
Yeah, there's not much to do.
Maybe we're not as good players as they are, because it looks like they're thinking like, oh, what can I do? But I'm just like, dude, just play the CNC. Arsenal the Codex.
What you could do is actually play the sleep dart, play it out, pitch the codex of reality,
Play the CNC.
and then play the CNC.
Oh, because you
It
have to
will
like,
threaten 9 damage,
yeah.
but you won't have any cards in. You still have
Sleep
a
Dart is
CNC.
a 3, so 1 card block, CNC's 2 card block, and then Justin
Yeah.
can Titan's Fist.
Mm-hmm.
That does keep more cards in Ichi's deck, which I think is to his best
Yep.
interest.
Another line is just overpitch, play 1 CNC, arsenal the
Arsenal the other.
codex.
Arsenal the yeah, that's true.
But if it is very likely that Justin is going to keep a card in arsenal,
Yes.
so that means the codex doesn't really do anything.
Yes. And that's what he wants to see. He
That's-
wants Codex to do nothing.
Yes. I think that's the hedge that he's been. That was what he has been hedging on with regards to this matchup.
Codex doing nothing, yeah.
Yeah, you know that the Lexi player will be able to play the Three of a Kinds, the Rain Razors, but what you can actually control is the Codex of Realty.
Yes.
Well, even if Justin has less cards in his deck, it doesn't mean that he's going. Oh,
He's
Whoa.
playing the Codex. Oh, I guess he could chuck one of the CNCs.
hmm,
He's getting. Huh? He's getting arrow with go again.
hmm.
I guess this is the same line as what we were
But
thinking about when you would play the
This
sleep
is
card.
also losing you a
Yeah,
card
this is losing your card instead of cycling the other
instead
card.
of cycling. You get the Ponder token, Bravo gets a frailty token, but you're still losing one of your red cards.
Yeah.
And
Using a CNC at this point in time, that may be,
that,
yeah, that may hurt later on.
I mean, the first effect of CNC with regards to defense reactions might not work anymore. I mean, might not be relevant at this
Yeah.
point. But the second effect to destroy the arsenal will always be relevant.
Yes.
Hmm. Not
Interesting.
entirely sure if that was the best
Interesting. Interesting.
time to use the Codex Frailty.
Can someone explain Ichiyo is the only one attacking? Look, brother, when you're playing Bravo against the Lexi, there are not many windows to attack. It's like, did you watch that one scene in Lord of the Rings where Boromir is just getting shot by the Urukai? That's what this matchup feels like as Bravo, because everything hurts so much, and you're just trying to stay alive. You're just trying to not die to all the 5 arrows over and over. So yeah, it looks like we're losing, but we might be winning if they run out of arrows.
Well, if they run out of arrows and you're still alive,
Yeah, and you're still alive.
and you have a sword, you
yeah,
win.
you have a sword and one card, you win. Well, it's a hammer in this
Well,
case.
it's a hammer.
Yeah.
And wait, Boromir died.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Boromir died, but in the end, the hobbits won. So that's
It's
Lexi.
it's a
Lexi
win for
becoming
the-
a living legend
Yeah.
is the true goal of all Bravo mains.
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck, Boromir. Yeah, thank
Good
you.
luck, Boromir. That is looking like an awfully thin deck.
Yes.
And I think Justin is feeling it. He knows that he is still playing on a knife's edge.
Yeah, I know Justin has to be thinking about the amount of threats because at 14
Mhm.
life, if the blues in Ichi's deck aren't enough to kill him when he only has one card left, Justin wins. He'll be able to hammer over
Yep.
and over and over
Yep,
and over.
yep. See, he does
Okay,
still
looks like-
have another
Yeah, he's
thing below.
sinking this.
It doesn't look
Maybe-
that thin, actually.
Looks like a couple of cards. Looks like maybe less than 10. There, he plays the CNC. And I think now Justin's thinking like, okay, thank God I played the sync.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm pretty sure Justin knew that.
Mm.
If this was the point where the CNCs are likely to come back. Oh,
See that comment. Justin keeps on defending, which is why
Good
when
luck,
Justin
Boromir.
turned, you don't have any cards left to attack. Yes, that is true.
Well-
Justin got a block. But here comes the Titan's Fist. Oh, and it looks like he did have an unmovable in hand, which would have been relevant if he
Mhm.
didn't play the sync against the CNC.
So it's-
And
if-
one-
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was about to make a joke. So if
Boromir.
Bravo is Boromir, then Lexi is Lurtz.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Lexi had. Look at that. Those are all blues.
Those are all
Those are
blues.
all blues.
Does Italy still have any rain razors?
I think there's
I,
one
I
left.
think there should be one more.
I believe there is one left, but I am not sure myself. Yes, that's right, Carlo. Justin is trying to fatigue or mill out Ichi's deck,
Yep.
and we shall see if he is successful in the next few turns.
Well, this is a very, very tight game.
Yeah, one misstep could cost you
Mhm.
the game here.
Oh, he has 4 cards left in deck.
What's that comment say?
Should be down to most
Hi,
people
Mitch. Hello. Shout out to Mitch.
So shout out to Mitch. I hope you're watching and enjoying the game of Boromir versus
Lurtz.
versus Lurtz.
Yeah. So Justin just took the Falcon. Very participant play, in my
Yep.
opinion, because
They are
he's like
playing
he, he
very.
he's kind of thinking like, okay, your Falcon Wing starter probably means you don't have a lot of gas left.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a sleep dart. Loaded the sleep dart, shooting the sleep dart.
It's again pretty annoying. It's not a
Yeah.
break point, but it's still attacking for 3
He's
damage.
blocking.
Next attack will be an infecting
Infecting
shot
shot
for 4,
for
which
4.
is a break point.
Yeah. And he still has that Crater Fist.
He still
It's
has
still
a
sitting
Crater
there,
Fist.
biding its time, waiting to block.
Cratering around.
Cratering around. It's like digging holes in the
Digging
ground
holes
with
in
the
the
Crater
ground
Fist, waiting for it to break.
with his fist.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
his fist.
So I can. The tension is very palpable
Yes, Justin is.
between the two
He
players.
has to think about this attack.
I think Justin was thinking of pivoting at some point,
Yeah,
and I think that was the star-struck turn.
yeah. But
He
then
really
the
wanted to pivot,
showtime,
but
yeah.
the
Oh, he played unmovable from his arsenal, blocking for 6. So, okay, here he
yes,
3 cards. I think he's freeing up the arsenal, so he can arsenal this. I believe it's a crippling crush.
yeah,
Does Justin only have 2 cards left in the
yes.
deck?
He has 2 cards left in his deck,
Oh my lord!
One, two, four.
and I
Hammer.
think Ichiyo still has 5.
Yeah, hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4. He just take that. You take that all day.
Yeah, all day.
Justin's only
He still has.
no.
That's no.
Yeah.
He still has 2. There's
Yeah,
2.
yeah, he has his
4.
hand.
So,
That's 2.
so he has 6. He's
And
fine.
this is a Winter's Bite, which is pretty annoying. And that is a what's the second card?
I think that's a yellow bolting shot. Alright,
It's
so
a yellow bolting shot.
Winter's Bite. So Justin will.
It is actually a good time to play the Codex of Frailty.
He has a sigil. He has a sigil in his hand.
So after the Winter's Bite, you could go again with the Bolton shot,
Shoot the bolting shot. Play the codex.
or the other way around, and then play the Codex. You pitch the blue. And
Shout out
then
to Mr. Toy Kun.
you throw out a bigger attack. Actually, you know what he could recur
Oh,
from his.
He pitched sigil.
Yep. You know what he could recur from his graveyard? A CNC.
Oh, that is true. He could get the CNC.
So
Just
this is
4
another
full
break
again.
point that
Very
Justin
annoying,
has to
very,
block.
very annoying. So he has a 2 block. What is that? That's a 2 block and the Terrace Under. And is that an unmovable?
A rouse? Is that a rouse?
Yeah, there's a
Nations?
rouse. Yeah, that's a 2 block.
Well, Edong is
What?
asking a very theoretical question.
What happens when both players can't win?
Then no one
Yeah,
wins.
no one wins.
Well, it depends on what's the exact situation.
It's like both players run out of cards in deck and the other one isn't dead.
Yeah, especially in the finals. What if
Oh yeah, that
Then-
is an interesting question. The, we can cross that bridge when we get there.
yeah, let's cross it.
Our
bridge when we
judges
get
will
there.
help us cross that bridge when we get there.
Yep.
Hopefully we
Go,
never
judges.
reach that bridge.
He
Go again.
this
Yes, this Bolton shot does have go again because its power is greater than its
and
base.
he can play out.
Searing shot.
How many cards does Justin have in his deck? Does he still have an unmovable in his hand?
I believe so. Lexi no arrows, Bravo no blue. Hmm. Yeah,
So
we will cross
what
that
you
bridge
will
when we get
recur?
there.
I think the best card to recur is the CNC.
Yeah, just the CNC. Just get the
Just the
CNC.
CNC.
I think did Justin take the 4? He took the 4 from Bolton shot. I think because he's
I
anticipating.
don't think he has any other choice.
Yeah,
And
because
if that is a crippling crush in Arsenal, this Command and Conquer is massive.
Yes.
Because Justin is hedging
So,
on
okay,
being
here he's
able
going
to
two
play
cards
out.
and a Crater Fist.
And how many cards does Ichi have? I want to see.
I want to see. Jet, go scout. How many cards does Ichi have? Our forward scout is moving on. I'm going to check how many cards Ichi has. It looks like still quite a lot.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a lot. I think it's
like
a couple of cards. Yeah.
Two or three. So there. Okay. So there's the Lightning Press.
The light. This.
Ichiyo has 4 cards left.
Yes, 4 cards left. Here's the 3 blues and the Lightning Press like we were talking about. But the Lightning Press is backed up by the Searing Shot.
And an Infecting Shot.
And an Infecting Shot. Justin still has an Arsenal, but Justin has no cards left in deck. Oh no. It looks like we are getting closer to that bridge, and we still do not know the answer.
Who's the TO of this event?
That's me.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So, what do you restart the game?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Suddenly you have to call the judge
no.
Discord.
We're
Hey
getting-
guys.
Yeah, hey guys, what happens if in the finals?
Yeah.
We're getting closer and closer
If
to
it's
the
not
bridge.
the finals.
I don't want to take this bridge, guys. Come on.
Die roll.
Yeah. No. Illegal.
Illegal.
That's illegal.
So this is a nail biter.
Yeah, this is a nail biter.
This is a nail biter. So
You meant if there's a stalemate. We
Yeah.
are not sure.
we're just talking about
Just
what
think.
if
What ifs.
the Edward Baring's theoretical question, and maybe a few minutes ago we thought it was an impossibility.
Yeah, but now it's looking like
And it may
Might
be the case.
happen.
It may be the case. The
so
thing is,
Justin took the damage from
the thing is,
Searing Shot.
Justin actually knows.
Oh my goodness. He has a full grip, 1 card in Arsenal. And we
he-
know one of those cards is Sigil and one of them is unmovable.
This is this attacking for go again, or for 4? Because that matters. This is an amazing finals.
Yes, my god.
I'm still wondering if this is attacking for 4 or for 3.
Yeah, me too. I'm confused. Hey, could you guys use the dice, please? Thank you. Please and thank you. I mean, I would assume... No, I wouldn't assume it's go again.
No, you wouldn't assume
I
that.
wouldn't assume it's go
It
again.
is a big possibility, but you can't.
No, I don't think he has a CNC left.
I don't think he has an.
'Cause he
I
pitched
think he
one-
only has 2.
Yeah, he discarded one to Codex of Frailty, and then he
Yep.
recurred the one that he played.
And that's the thing. What if he still had that CNC right now?
Yeah, if he still had that CNC right now, he'd have something to fall back on that's, that
Correct.
kills the unmovables. Justin, if you watch this, we know you're concentrating, but don't shake the table in the future.
He took. No, he didn't. So this is attacking for
Block for 3. So
2.
this is attacking for
2 plus 1.
2 plus 1.
Justin has 2 cards, 3 cards in his hand.
Okay, so he's blocking for
This.
1. Block for 1. Passing cryo. Yeah.
One.
Just a block.
It's a lightning press.
Just lightning press.
Oh,
Yes, Sigil. I forgot he had Sigil. We literally just talked about him having Sigil.
so this
Okay.
goes for 6,
So
7, minus 1, giving 6.
yeah, it takes 3 plus 1.
Then
That's
gaining
5.
3.
Yeah.
Does Justin still have a blue?
He still has two cards in hand. It's two blues. I'm pretty sure it's two blues.
Yeah, we all knew the sigil was there.
Yeah, I forgot.
I mean, we should have known.
Yeah. Okay. Ichi's gonna draw his
His last
last
hand.
hand.
Oh,
No, he
his
still has
fire.
one card in the deck. So here, Surge Hammer. Those are all blues. I don't want to cross the bridge. I don't want to cross this bridge.
Does Justin have only two cards in hand?
Yes, he only has two cards in hand. His
Oh
arrow.
my god.
Arrow for 3 block.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they both deserve to be in
Arrow.
the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
No, no contest. Arrow for 3. It's
Oh,
unmovable.
That's
And
wow.
that's game.
wow.
What
That
an
was a
amazing
very well
final.
played game.
Wow.
Down
Kudos
to
to
the
Ichiyo
wire.
for winning that game, but
Yes.
Justin played that
Justin put up
very,
a fight.
very
He
impressively.
put up a big fight, and it
That was amazing.
looks like Ichi did uh, pivot. We'll know that in
Yep.
the interview. Are we having an interview? Okay, looks like we will
We're
have an
already
interview.
here.
We're
Yeah,
already here.
with
We'll
the-
go take a talk
Oh,
to
that
the two
was
players,
amazing.
and that was amazing. And we'll be right back.
And we have the champion for ProQuest Season 4. This is Mark David Octavio. Did I get that right? Yeah. All right, sir. You just won the ProQuest Season 4. How do you feel?
Uh, Overwhelmed, a little bit overwhelmed. I wasn't expecting to last that long with Bravo.
Right. All right. So you used Lexi in this tournament. Why did you use Lexi?
Um, Even before I started Fab, Lexi was what really appealed to me because she had the she had the tools that I normally go for card games. She has damage and she has control elements in her game. So that's pretty much why I picked her.
Well balanced and very efficient, right? All right. How long have you been playing Lexi?
Uh, well, Lexi's the hero I started with from the start, around May, end of May. So we're fairly new to the scene, but the community's been really, really awesome.
Yeah, sir. I actually remember getting my the first pieces for my deck from this guy. Yeah. All right. And for how long have you been playing Fab?
May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 months. More or less.
Yeah. And if I may ask, how do you find the meta? Is it well balanced? Is it favored towards certain heroes?
Well, right now it's really about it's mostly about ninjas, Dromai, and of course Lexi. Until Lexi leaves the format, I believe that she is living legend already. So I'm expecting that post Lexi, we're going to see a lot of Dromais and a lot of ninjas, and hopefully Icelanders also. So to balance out the meta, because if there's no ice in the meta, uh, hyper aggros are just going to run all over the place. So that's what I think.
All right. So, given that Lexi will be a living legend soon, what can we expect? What deck can we expect from Sir Mark Octavio?
Well, I do have Azalea. I do have Azuri, but I'm leaning towards Dash, Dash or Azalea, whichever I would find more comfortable with, depending on how the meta shapes up.
Yeah.
Well, post Lexi.
All right. All right. So, do you have a message for the Flesh and Blood community?
Um, I guess just keep on being what it is already. I mean, the Philippine Fab community has been really awesome. I mean, I've played a lot of card games, I played a lot of tabletop games, and so far, Flesh and Blood, in the Philippines at least, has been the best gaming community, trading card community that I've actually been in. So uh, just keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll see the numbers rise.
All right. So there you have it. That's Mark David Octavio, our champion for ProQuest Season 4. Thank you very much. Sir, congratulations.